We are continuing our Marvel Marathon Madness with 2001 Mutant X, a superhero television series created under the umbrella of Marvel Entertainment, although it shares very loose connections to the Mutant X comic book series of the same name. The show ran for a total of 3 seasons, with each containing 22 episodes. It centers on Mutant X, a team of quote-unquote new mutants who possess extraordinary powers as a result of genetic engineering. These individuals were used as test subjects in a series of covert government experiments. The mutants are then released into the general population, and a scientist named Adam Kane assembles a group called Mutant X to help them and to oppose his co-partner, Mason Eckhart, who plans to use the project for his own ends. The mission of Mutant X is to seek out and protect their fellow mutants while fighting dangers that pose major threats to both humanity and mutant kind alike. So, let us go ahead and jump straight into the plot. Now, the central characters you should be aware of in this show are the following. Adam Kane, who is the strategist and moral center of Mutant X. As he was the chief geneticist of the scientific experiments that led to the creation of the New Mutants, Kane created Mutant X to atone for his mistakes. The group seeks to protect and help mutants control their powers. Viewing the New Mutants as his responsibility, Kane is looking for treatments for their various conditions. Jesse Kilmartin can alter the density of his body at will, meaning he is a molecular New Mutant, as he can become intangible or super dense, making him nearly impervious to harm. Jesse can only maintain these forms for as long as he can hold his breath, and he is able to extend these powers to people or objects through physical contact. He serves as the technology and computer expert of the team. The next team member is Shalimar Fox, who had her human DNA combined with animal DNA, which is known as a feline feral mutant, and that gives her enhanced strength and agility, healing abilities, and superhuman senses. She also develops a sixth sense, which allows her to anticipate incoming dangers to herself. Like all feline ferals, Shalimar is extremely territorial, has a heightened fear of fire, and is immune to hypnosis. Then comes Emma De La Ruro, a teleempath who can communicate feelings and emotions to and receive them from those around her. She has limited precognition, as well as the ability to induce hallucinations into the minds of others by drawing upon their emotions and feelings. Emma later develops the ability to project blasts of pure psychic energy, which she can use to knock her enemies unconscious, alter and erase memories, and sometimes even kill. Brennan Mulray is an elemental mutant with the ability to generate electricity, enough to power a small city. He can shoot electrical bolts from his hands, which, if fired downward, can launch him high into the air. And finally, Lexa Pierce, who joins Mutant X in Season 3. As a chromatic molecular mutant, she can bend light to make herself and anything she is touching temporarily invisible. She can also shoot beam of light from her fingertips and can project blinding flashes. Her main drive is the search for her lost brother, and her methods and motives leave her untrusted by the rest of the team. In terms of recurring villains, we have the following characters. Mason Eckhart, who is the former head of security for Genome X, and the current head of the genetic security agency known as GSA. After an accident involving Adam and the production of the New Mutants, Eckhart's immune system has been severely weakened. He formed the GSA to protect the public from what he deemed as a threat from the New Mutants, capturing them to perform genetic testing to find a quote-unquote cure. He is the primary antagonist of Season 1. Dr. Kenneth Harrison is a biogeneticist working for the company Tricorp Botanicals, and a former employee of Genome X. Eckhart seeks him out to produce a mind-controlling toxin from the plants he studies so Eckhart can create new mutants under his own control. And finally, Gabriel Ashlock is patient zero of the New Mutants. He possesses the abilities of all known kinds of New Mutants, particularly the Mutant X team. He, like Eckhart, is the primary antagonist mainly in Season 2. So jumping into the plot of each season, Season 1 is essentially broken down like this. There is a main overarching villain, namely Mason Eckhart, that is the major threat for the Mutant X team, but the episodes also follow the quote-unquote villain of the week kind of model. In nearly every episode, a new mutant appears whom the Mutant X team wants to help, while Genome X, a biotech company dedicated to genetic research and the ones that created the various mutants, wants to capture. Those who carry out Genome X orders are often a new mutant themselves, who nearly always fails at the end of the episode and then vanishes to never be seen again. During the various missions, the Mutant X team makes small strides towards stopping Genome X, and at the end of the season, Genome X is defeated while Mason Eckhart is put into a stasis capsule. So with Season 2, as the Mutant X team manages to take down Eckhart by the end of Season 1, they must now deal with a new villain, and that is Gabriel Ashlock, a powerful new mutant that possesses countless abilities, similar to the same powers that the Mutant X team has. But with all of that, Ashlock also suffers from the fatal side effects of his mutations. Most of the first episodes of Season 2 revolve around Ashlock and his plans to cure himself from his deadly mutations, while the team finds paths to deal with him and eventually manage to take him down. After Gabriel is killed, the following episodes are standalone episodes following the New Mutant of the Week kind of pattern. Now, with Season 3, there are some major changes. In the beginning of the first 3 episodes, it is revealed that Emma was killed in an explosion during a mission, while Adam is also presumed dead, although it is later turns out to be false. A 4th new mutant, Lexa Pierce, joins Mutant X. We now see that the Mutant X team works for the Secret Society Dominion, which hires them in most episodes to solve problems revolving around new mutants or other genetic problems. Eventually, the emergence of a figure known as the Creator has the team learn about the truth of who Adam is and the fact that he is not dead. The season and series ends in a major cliffhanger. So, this was somewhat fun in the early 2000s dramatic heroes show kind of way. This series is definitely one of those so bad it is good type of TV shows. While the effects and action totally scream cable TV of 2000s, the character development is actually quite good, as a big part of the show is focused on the relationships between the team. It does have some great times in it, and overall is fun, but the dialogue as well as the effects can really take you out of it and out of the moment at times, as well as a few not so good episodes due to the plot they possess. It will for sure give you the nostalgic Saturday afternoon vibes from the early days of cable TV, when shows like these really started popping off, and I really believe that even today, many people would find this a fun ride overall. Yeah, the dialogue at times can be really goofy, and some awful slow motion scenes also pop up from time to time, as well as not the most stellar acting you will find in several episodes, and not to mention the constant wire work that is clearly apparent in many scenes. But really, nonetheless, I did find this to be a campy fun kind of way and a good adventure that I really believe people will enjoy revisiting or even watching for the first time. So all in all, taking into account the production level and resources they had, as well as the dedication from the cast and crew, I am giving this a 4.5 out of 10. Now, the next TV show I will cover will be 2015 Powers, both seasons of it, so stay tuned and share your comments and thoughts below, as well as please do consider hitting the like button and subscribing. I would truly be grateful. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for spending your time with me. Until our next adventure, y'all stay classy.